Philadelphia, listen to me and listen closely. The ground beneath the Eagles organization is shifting violently right now. We are not just talking about routine roster maintenance. We are witnessing a full-scale philosophical collision inside the NovaCare complex. I have received intel regarding 3 massive developments that will dictate whether this team competes for a Lombardi or watches from the couch in 2026. We are talking about a massive extension for the heart of the defense, a $30 million admission of failure, and a departure that could haunt Jalen Hurts for the next 5 years. The front office is making moves that will shake the NFC East to its core. Do not turn that dial.
Let's get straight to the business at hand, because the first order of operations for Howie Roseman and this Philadelphia front office is crystal clear. Sources are telling me that the Eagles have identified the immediate contract extension of the Juice Man as a non-negotiable priority for this offseason. We are talking about the retention of a player whose motor does not stop, whose presence in that locker room is the very adhesive holding the defensive culture together under Nick Sirianni. The organization views his energy not just as an asset, but as a necessity. In a league where pass rush and sideline demeanor dictate momentum, the Eagles are preparing to open the checkbook to ensure that the juice does not run dry in Philadelphia. They understand the market value, and they are ready to meet it to keep continuity on that defensive front. But let me pivot here, because I need you to understand the gravity of this situation. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot put a price tag on the kind of electricity this man brings to the field. When we talk about the Juice Man, we are talking about the heartbeat of a defense that relies on emotion, grit, and pure, unadulterated aggression. Nick Sirianni preaches connection, he preaches intensity, and there is nobody who embodies that philosophy more than him. If you let a guy like this walk out the door, you aren't just losing a player, you are losing the identity of your football team. It is blasphemous to even consider a future where he isn't wearing midnight green. The audacity to think you can replicate that energy with a rookie or a discount free agent is laughable. This is about sending a message to the rest of the roster. When you pay the guys who bring the fire, you ignite the rest of the team. If the Eagles fumble this negotiation, if they try to pinch pennies with the one guy who brings the spark every single Sunday, they deserve to plummet. You pay the man. You keep the juice flowing, because without that spark, this defense is nothing but a stagnant pool of wasted potential. Howie Roseman knows the salary cap is a myth when you need to keep your stars, so get the deal done. This isn't just about stats. It is about the soul of the Philadelphia Eagles defense. We saw what happened when the leadership void opened up in the past. We cannot afford a repeat of that history. The extension talks are heating up, the numbers are being crunched, and the expectation is that the Juice Man gets paid. But make no mistake, if this deal falls through, the ripple effect will tear through that locker room faster than a blitzing linebacker. The priority is set, the money is there. Now it is time to sign the paper.
If you want the raw, unfiltered truth about the Eagles that the networks are too afraid to broadcast, you need to subscribe right now. Join our community and stay ahead of the game. Do not miss a single update.
If the first story was about building culture, this next update is about cutting out the cancer. Sources indicate that the Philadelphia Eagles are preparing to officially part ways with a veteran player who is currently weighing down the books with a $30 million contract. This is a decisive, ruthless move. After appearing in only 8 games, the organization has seen enough. The evaluation is complete and the verdict is harsh. The performance on the field does not even remotely justify the financial stranglehold this contract has on the salary cap. The front office is ready to eat the dead money, accept the sunk cost, and move on immediately, rather than dragging this mistake into another season. This is a classic case of admitting a fault quickly to save the long-term health of the roster. Now let me be very clear about how disgusted I am with this situation. $30 million. For what? For 8 games of mediocrity? For 8 games of going through the motions? It is absolutely, undoubtedly a disgrace. How do you sign a contract of that magnitude and deliver absolutely nothing in return? It is highway robbery. The Eagles fan base works too hard, pays too much for tickets, and bleeds too much for this team to watch a veteran come in, collect a massive paycheck, and provide zero impact. It is insulting to the city of Philadelphia. Howie Roseman usually pushes the right buttons, but this was a swing and a miss of epic proportions, and now he has to clean up the mess. But I applaud the decision to cut the cord now. Do not keep him around just because you paid him. That is the loser's mentality. You cut him, you take the financial hit, and you send a message to every other player in that building. I don't care what your name is, I don't care what your bank account looks like, if you do not perform, you are gone.
The NFL stands for not for long if you don't produce, and this veteran found that out the hard way. This $30 million could have gone to offensive line depth. It could have gone to the secondary. Instead, it was wasted on 8 games of nothingness. It makes me sick to my stomach. But the decision is made, the papers are being drawn up, the Eagles are shedding the weight, and frankly, it is about time. This is addition by subtraction. You get that salary off the books, you free up the roster spot for a hungry young player who actually wants to be there, and you move forward. The experiment failed, the money is gone, but the standard remains. If you can't play up to the paycheck, get out of Philadelphia. It is that simple.
Now we arrive at the news that will keep every Eagles fan awake at night, staring at the ceiling in frustration. The reports surfacing regarding Nakobe Dean are alarming, to say the least. After 4 years of development, 4 years of anticipation, and 4 years of integrating him into the defensive scheme, Nakobe Dean is projected to leave the Philadelphia Eagles. But that is not the worst part. The whispers getting louder by the second indicate that he is not just leaving. He is expected to sign with a direct NFC rival. We are looking at a scenario where a homegrown linebacker, a key piece of the future planning for the 2026 season, walks out the door and joins a team that stands directly in the path of the Eagles' Super Bowl aspirations. This is a catastrophe, a total and complete mitigated disaster. You spend draft capital on Nakobe Dean, you nurture him, you watch him grow, and just when he is entering the prime of his career, you let him walk to the enemy? Are you kidding me? Imagine Nakobe Dean in a Cowboys uniform. Imagine him wearing Giants blue, lining up across from Jalen Hurts, calling out our offensive plays, knowing our cadence, knowing our weaknesses. It is a strategic nightmare. The linebacker position in Philadelphia has been a revolving door of mediocrity for years, and just when you have a guy who knows the system, you let him go? It creates a massive hole in the middle of the field that you now have to desperately fill. This disrupts everything for the 2026 outlook. You lose his speed, you lose his instinct, but more importantly, you hand a weapon to your adversary. This is the kind of move that comes back to haunt you in January, when you are playing a wildcard game or a divisional round game and Nakobe Dean makes a tackle for a loss on 4th and 1 to end your season. Remember this moment. Remember the failure to secure him. The Eagles front office loves to prioritize the trenches. I get that. But you cannot ignore the second level of the defense and expect to survive in the modern NFL. If Nakobe Dean leaves, it signals a failure of player development and retention that is inexcusable. The NFC is an arms race. You do not give your bullets to the other side. This report suggests the Eagles are unwilling to match the market price, and that stubbornness is going to cost them dearly on the field. The juice man stays, the veteran is cut, but losing Dean, that is the domino that knocks the whole defense off balance. This is a critical error in judgment. If he signs with a rival, mark my words, Philadelphia will regret it for the next 5 years. This is a defining moment for the franchise. We are watching the roster be deconstructed and rebuilt in real time. We are keeping the energy of the juice man. We are admitting a $30 million failure, but we are risking a massive betrayal with Nakobe Dean. My question to you is simple. Is Howie Roseman making the right call letting a young linebacker walk to a rival just to save cap space? Can this defense survive that kind of exodus? I want to see your thoughts in the comments right now. This is our team, and these decisions affect our Sundays. We demand greatness. We demand a championship standard. Stay locked in, because the offseason is just getting started, and the drama is far from over.